Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Crypto Gorilla video. I am very excited for today's video because we are finally talking about upcoming NFT whitelist. That is right, we are so back.
Turned around, guys. We are back, baby.
As usual, I'm not a financial advisor. All this is just my speculative opinion, so make sure you do your own research. But if you appreciate me doing this research, putting out these videos, would you kindly hit that subscribe button so we can make it to 70,000 before the end of June. So hit subscribe and let's jump right into today's video because we have so much ground to cover. There are so many projects dropping across 50 different chains. Like, my brain is melting just trying to do all this stuff. But let's take them one by one, starting off with MegaETH, because MegaETH is looking like it is going to cook. If we jump on Ethos under the new listings tab, you could see MegaETH, 92% of users are bullish on the launch of this chain compared to only 77 who are bullish on Abstract, which is kind of like the face of NFTs and crypto, right? With Pudgies being so prominent. And then if we take a look at Monad, you could see 85% of users are bearish on Monad, and then Somnia, 83% are bearish on Somnia. So MegaETH right now holding the crown. So I definitely want to prioritize these whitelists. Now, the biggest winner that we've seen so far, the one that is taking the narrative of the hypeos of MegaETH, is of course Bad Buns. I believe these failed to mint out 5,000 NFTs, don't quote me on that, for 0.03. And then they cut the supply to 3,000 and now they're at 0.62. So they are doing incredibly well. And my theory here was that we'd see a lot more dips and like less price action because MegaETH was potentially 3-4 months away. However, I'm starting to see a lot of tweets pop up that mainnet is potentially much closer than we were expecting, which would explain the price action here. And then there was so many green flags, like Bread switched his PFP to an honorary Bad Bun. We also have Legendary, who switched his PFP to a Bad Bun as well, and he bought 24 of them. So Legendary obviously has a show called Modern Market where Bread appears quite often. So it's no surprise that he's bullish on MegaETH since Bread works for MegaETH. However, Legendary is a great trader. So this was, a green flag, and I wish I would have noticed it sooner. But that being said, what are the future projects we can focus on getting whitelist for? The first one, which is very obvious, is going to be Meganacci. This is a small collection, 384 NFTs. It is a free mint, so risk-free, but that also means with a small supply and free mint, it is going to be insanely hard to get whitelist for. There are only 234 guaranteed spots, and then 150 are first come, first serve, which is over allocated by roughly 4x, I believe. Personally, not a fan of that because they have so much hype, but at least they're being upfront about it. And I get it. They're just using it as marketing. It's going to draw a lot of eyes on the collection, a lot of eyes on their mint. People are going to feel FOMO. So if you have a first come, first serve whitelist, you definitely want to make sure you're using a bot because these guys have built so much interest and hype for their collection. If we take a look at the Kaido leaderboard for MegaETH, you'll notice that Fibonacci, the founder of this project, as well as the Meganacci page, are currently 5th and 6th for mindshare of MegaETH. So all eyes on this project. And then we also have Bread, who we saw has a Bad Bun PFP. He said he plans on rotating his PFPs through different projects, and he specifically tags Meganacci. So huge green flag for this project, and it's definitely on my priority whitelist list. Next on the list, we have Megalio. Now this, of course, is a milady's derivative. We see one across every chain. Usually one does well. And here we have 3 so far. We're going to look at all 3, but this one, in my opinion, is the one that's getting the most attention. Now, I have not spoken to the team, so I don't have any additional info to give you. It's a milady's derivative, right? So it's all about the memes and all that. I do find it funny that they retweeted this post by Exaverse, which is an OTC marketplace for selling your whitelists. As usually, we'll see projects go out of their way to ban wallets that have been sold on these OTC marketplaces, but here they're kind of flexing like, yo, we're the hypest project right now, selling for 450 bucks. This doesn't mean it's a guaranteed cook, right? If you would have bought Bambi for $195, you got wrecked. But then if you would have bought Tokyo Beast, you made 4 figures off of this purchase. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but it's a good gauge to show you what the current top projects are in terms of mindshare. Next on the list, we have 2 more milady's derivatives. We'll just go through them quickly. The first one is Digit Rabbit, which you know, like I said, Milady's Deriv, they look really cool. If you want whitelist, you are going to have to join their Telegram, and then they're doing like hand picking. I don't know what the criteria is, but that's one way of getting whitelist. And then the next project is going to be Megacarrots, which is a free mint, 3,333 collection. Again, not much to say. You know, it's a Milady's. The art is like these carrots, and they make some really cool honoraries. So bonus points. Now, if you want additional info on MegaETH, if you want help finding these projects, I definitely recommend following the Mega Mafia account, as they post projects that are officially partnered or like in their incubator program or whatever it is. So it's like a seal of approval. After that, I would follow MegaETH only, as he posts only about MegaETH. And finally, I would check out this page called Fluffle Tools by Ultra, the person behind Laudio, this person right here, because they post a ton of projects and the community is able to vote on them. So it's a great tool for discovering upcoming NFT collections, a ton of which like I did not mention in my video. Next up, let's talk about Sophon Whitelists, because these are getting a ton of traction. And I do find it really cool that Sophon has this Canvas program, which is their form, I guess, of Mega Mafia. It's an incubator. They provide funding, tech, distribution help. So I love when chains do this seal of approval on projects. It makes it much easier for us to, you know, weed out what the good ones are going to be. It doesn't mean it's a guaranteed cook. Like Hedge Empire did not do well, unfortunately, but it's already a step in the right direction. So first up on Sophon, we have a game called Angelic Kingdom. Now, I can't tell you anything about the game, unfortunately, even though I am in talks with the team and hopefully get to see some early gameplay. However, we do have this tweet about the NFTs. Now, it's only 500 NFTs, so we love a small supply. We still don't know about the price, but the art looks great. I really love the look of this, especially for a game. I love these like pixelated looking games, but there's also utility with these NFTs. If we just read here, it says, owning an Archangel is like holding protocol-aligned equity, but tied to in-game economic flow. And what they mean by that is right here, you earn a share of marketplace and merchant revenue. So if this game manages to get a ton of traction, a bunch of people are playing it, you're gonna cook by holding one of these Archangel NFTs. So it's very much tied to the success of the game. Now, the success of the game, I think, is partially tied to the success of Sophon, because it's really new. We haven't seen a success yet on there. The first game we saw was Hedge Empire, which I do not like how they did their sale here. It was like a public, hey, just sending money to this wallet. And a lot of people did not like that. You could see Easy here saying this is a bad idea. And unfortunately, it did fail to get traction. But this was like one of those Ponzi type games, whereas Angelic Kingdom, they're trying to build an actual game for gamers. So I definitely think it has a really good shot. And especially with the 500 supply collection, to me, that's already something that interests me very much. I know in the article that Sophon released, they mentioned soulbound tokens, but that's specifically for the in-game NFTs that you're going to play as a character. These are something separate. So definitely on my priority to get whitelist for, and I'm happy to say that we also have locked down spots for my community, Guerrilla Labs. So a raffle for this is going to be happening in the near future. Next on the list, we have another Milady collection, but on Sophon, like I said, we're going to see one on every single chain we cover. And this one is a 2,000 supply collection. Outside of that, like, I don't know how much to tell you. It's Milady's, it's about memes. We did see Miggy change his PFP to a Remilux, so already a really good sign. Now he's changed it to another project on our list called Nameless, which this one there's really not much info on, but that's by design, right? It's called Nameless. It's all about being anonymous. So more is going to release over time. They have a website here, but same thing, not much. And even look at my DMs, like with the team, we're speaking in code, okay? This is how far I go to get info on projects and get collabs, okay? Now, if we go back to that article that Somnia posted about the projects in their Canvas program, we can see here they call Nameless the flagship PFP collection of Sophon. So to me, or to everybody, that should be a huge green flag, because if they're calling this their flagship, they're going to want it to be successful. Next up, we have Bald Brothers on Hyperliquid, which is getting a ton of traction, both Bald Brothers and Hyperliquid. So a great combo. I know there's been some drama on this chain with Hypeos going from like 200 hype all the way to sub 100. However, there have also been some really great opportunities like Pip and Friends. This one is cooking. And then just over the weekend, we saw this one called Spazio Brothers, which was a free mint, and it ran all the way to like 1.5 hype. So there's still a ton of action happening on Hyper EVM, which is funny because I don't know why there's like not many. I think people are just lazy or they don't want to figure out how to get your money onto Hyper EVM. And if you look at the active wallets daily on Nansen here, outside of this spike we saw around the whole hype around the airdrop where everybody was interested for like half a day, which I think they're going to regret down the line because the airdrop is supposedly planned for November, so Q4, but people are only going to pay attention in October and they're going to start to FOMO, right? But I think there is such a big opportunity on Hyperliquid and Hyper EVM with how little people are currently trying to get the airdrop. Now, back to Bald Brothers. Again, not much to say about this project. They are doing this subber thing on Twitter where they give out first come, first serve spots. So turn on your notifications for this project's Twitter account. But the traction for this project has been great. I don't know why they're fading the number one bald brother out here. I haven't had a chance to reach out to the team, but that's pretty normal. Like it's really hard reaching any Hyperliquid team. I don't know why. It's just like a thing. And then I already covered this project in a previous video. I'm pretty sure everybody knows about it right now. Project X by Lambo and Bobby, the guys behind Packmoon. But you know, you can't talk about upcoming projects and Hyperliquid without mentioning it. They are currently at 20,000 followers without a single tweet, and the account is from May, so they are crushing it. And you know, whenever they do post, make sure turn noties on here because I want to make sure I hit whatever they drop because I think it's going to cook. Now, next on the list is a new one called Rakoon Heroes. I haven't had time to do a full deep dive yet because I literally just found it today, but this one looks so cool. I really love the art style or the design of the website. Whoever did it, like you did a really good job here with this website. And although the account is new, as you can see, May 2025, still very low, right? Only 366 followers. If we scroll to the bottom of the website, you'll see there's a Discord, which there's nothing in there. It's like a pre-launch Discord. There's a Telegram, which had less than 100 people when I joined. You have to request to join. They talk about a pre-sale in there for their, I think it's called the Coon token, like Rakoon. And then here they have a Medium with a ton of articles you can go read. And these date back to, you know, October, August of 2024. So we're approaching a year now since they wrote these articles. And although I haven't checked if they tried to launch something before, if we go to their roadmap, they do say idea 2024, MVP unveiling, you know, testnet, and then Q3, Q4 or Q2, Q3, 2025 official launch. So it seems like everything is on track, and that doesn't feel like a red flag that the project is like technically over a year old. Now, like I said, I love the look of this. Like these cards look cool. Now, what these guys have built is essentially a game that looks really cool in my opinion. You have your Rakoon NFT, which is like your in-game character, and you train them to trade with a mock wallet. So you get 10,000 virtual USDT, and they are trading with that. And you want to make them, or you want to train them to be better traders and work their way up the leaderboard. And then you essentially can monetize this. Well, one, there's an in-game token that you can earn the better your guy is. And if you look through the docs, like there's weapons, there's a ton of cool stuff. I think you can level them up too to become like a legendary. But then there's a ton of game modes. If we look at the white paper, there's a solo mode, there's a dual mode, battle mode, and there's a Champions League mode. And then they even talk about like ways to monetize this beyond the in-game currency, because you could loan out your NFT. If you train him to become a really good trader and he has a 95% hit rate on his trades, somebody's going to want to see that NFT or want to use it, because they also mention somewhere on the website here from game to reality. So it seems like eventually, I don't know if they're using like AI tech or whatever it is. Like I said, I got to finish reading the white paper, but maybe they're trying to build like a trading bot here using AI. And then if your NFT is this really powerful trading bot with a proven record because he's at the top of the leaderboard, he's a legendary, like it looks cool, somebody's potentially going to rent it off you or pay you, buy it off you for a lot of money. So I really like this so far. Like I said, I have not spoken to the team. I got to finish going through the white paper. It is extremely long. Okay, give me a break. I just found this today. But so far, I really love the look of this project. So I hope there's no red flags. I hope they didn't like try to launch this in the past or whatever it is. And I really hope this works out. I did see that Rohit's here posted it's going to be on MegaETH. I asked him why, and he said it's because he saw there's a collab between Bad Buns and this project. So I think he just assumed it's on MegaETH, but I don't see any evidence on the website or anything that says MegaETH. So I have no idea what chain this is going to be on. Maybe it's going to be on ETH mainnet, but it would make a lot of sense for it to be on MegaETH or even Hyperliquid, especially with the colors for Hyperliquid. I think they also mentioned Hyperliquid somewhere on this website. I don't know. I don't know what chain it is. I'm going to do a deep dive and then I'll post about it on Twitter. So make sure you follow me on Twitter in order to find out more about this project. And then this video's gone on really long. So let's just do like quick fire mode here where I talk about projects very quickly or briefly. The first one, which I mentioned in the past, is going to be by Bunya. He's making some really great art collections here. It got the attention of OpenSea, and it's really cool that he's going to be launching on OpenSea on Abstract. Now, this project is going to be dropping on July 10th for 33 bucks per NFT, a supply of 3,333. And here we have some info on how to get whitelist. There's a thread here. I'll link it in the description down below if you want to go read that. After that, we have Tama Tama, which there's not much info about this project just yet, but I like the characters that they're posting. Like this one's super cute. So they're trying to build an IP here. From what I've heard, this is going to be on Aptos, so I'm not sure how much demand there is for Aptos NFTs right now, but it's definitely got my attention and it's on my radar. Another Aptos project is going to be Pongz. They have built a game, so it's a gaming NFT, but again, Aptos, not sure what the demand is for NFTs on Aptos, but if the game's good, if a lot of people are playing it and the incentives are good, it could catch some traction. After that, we have another game, which is called Pixcape. This one is on Somnia, which like we saw, only 17% of people are bullish on Somnia, but the game itself looks really cool. We've seen these kind of games before. I forget what it's called. Is this like roguelite? Yeah, that's what it's called, roguelite. But it looks cool. You know, you upgrade your character over time. As for the NFTs, we don't know the price, but it is 2,222 supply. And then here they mentioned 3 ways to get whitelist for this project. And then last but not least, we have Seedify. They are doing these 100K market cap launches, which you can get pre-sale. Let's just call it whitelist. You can get whitelist access to these simply by being in the Telegram and then posting content on the timeline about the projects. The first one of which is that onion called Peel. You've probably seen them all over the timeline, but you know, it's the first one, 100K market cap. Like it really seems like this is highly likely to cook. So definitely worth checking out. And that marks the end of today's video. I had a lot more projects I could have talked about, but there was just so much information already. I want to split it up. I also have something that I think is going to absolutely cook. So video about that coming real soon. There's also more virtual stuff like creator bid is something I'm looking into. So there's so much to talk about. I'm going to drop multiple videos this week. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, hit the like button while you're down there. It helps my channel reach a wider audience. Thank you for watching another Crypto Gorilla video. Peace.